don't know if the camera is okay. Is it okay? I'm having problems adjusting for broadcast. If it's okay, let me get some yeses. Is it upside down? Hello? It looks upside down because I can't read the comments properly. It's not okay. Yes. Please just bear with me. Let me try to see what to do. Is it okay now? Okay. Thank you for joining. Just share the video so we can. Hello, you're welcome. I welcome you. Great comrades, I welcome you to this broadcast. I'm just trying to do some sharing here now.
Amazonia, land of freedom, you shall live with plenty meeting our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of His nation. Amazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of His nation.
God bless you. Thank you for making it to the program. I just want us to have this program before we become too official in our business. I just want to talk freely, probably for for the very last time, so that and then we continue talking inside the house. So the first thing is I congratulate you guys, all the fighters, Amazonians, Southern Cameroonians, all freedom fighters, all those who believe in this struggle, all those who have invested their lives into this struggle. I want to congratulate you for not relenting despite all the bad news you are hearing, all the bad things that are happening ground zero, and all those who are abandoning the cause. I want to thank you for not relenting, because if you had relented for 1 year now, we will not be where we are today. I want to congratulate you for every sacrifice you make to get us to this point. One thing I can tell you now is that we are now going backward. This thing has no reverse gear. We are going forward. This is an existential fight we are involved in. There's only one way and one result we should get in this struggle: win. There is no room for us to lose. To lose means we are dead. To lose means we have no nation of our own. To lose means everything we have fought for is for naught. Is for naught. So we don't have a choice to lose. Losing is not an option in this struggle. Yeah, let me adjust this a little so that my flag will be somewhere. My flag will be somewhere for you to see. Thank you for the reminder. So the first thing I want to say before I go into the purpose of this broadcast today is to assure you, our fellow Southern Cameroonians, that immediately after the appointment, I called President Julius Stave to accept my nomination to his cabinet as Under-Secretary for Foreign Affairs. In doing this, I had you in mind. I remembered the conversations I've had with many of you who are invested in this struggle. I remembered some of your emails and your postings. And then I knew that this was a president who decided to listen to the people and not a particular clique of people, but the people of Southern Cameroons. And I found myself obliged to say yes, not because of anything, but because of we the people. And so I thanked him sincerely for that, for the confidence to appoint me to stand by him in this struggle for our liberation and the restoration of our nation, of our nationhood. So today I'm not talking to you in this official capacity. I've not had any security briefing, nothing. So I can't make any official statements because I don't know what is classified and what is not classified. I had not been briefed. So we're just having another Commonsense live show right now. So don't take any of my statements I make here right now and say that's what the government said. So rather I would like to say a few things and then listen to you. If I can reach a few of your comments and there are things I can talk about, I will talk. So probably I'll make my shortest video today. I needed to say this because because of where my stance have been in this struggle, where my stance has been, and that is known to many. And some people were really doubting, as from the messages I received, if I would say yes. So I came to tell you I did say yes. So not because the people who have said yes have just decided to make take one more step into sacrificing for the struggle. It's not necessarily because they are the most qualified. We are not the most qualified people. I think that leadership in a revolution like this is not given to the most qualified. It's given to those who are available and who have the heart to do the job. And there are many people who are qualified, but they are in the background. They are on the sidelines. They can just make their contributions. Those that are willing and available will deliver the goods. So this is a call to all those who are watching. Some of you can do this job more than me, more than Mr. President and any other member of the cabinet. So, because none of us went through school having 100% in primary school, 100% in secondary school, 100% in high school, 100% in university. No, that's to say that we don't know everything. If you had 100% in everything until you came out from school, then you are Mr. 100%. There is nobody who is 100%. Therefore, there's somebody who knows something more than you know. And some of those people are not in government and may never be in government. So they are watching. You are watching. So this is the thing. As you watch, you either become a helper, a participant, somebody that will be a catalyst, or you watch and you use your very expert knowledge to take down the efforts of those. So I'm saying all this so that I can secure your support. I can secure your contributions. My contact is known by many. Send me your ideas. You have done so for some time, many of you, and I did take your contributions into consideration when I made my presentations online. I will count on you, and the government is counting on you, on your contribution. If there is a popular support for what President Sisiko Tabe has done in appointing the government, then that popular support should be translated into concrete support actions to ensure that we don't end at this state of euphoria, but we are able to deliver concrete actions and results, which we cannot do without your contribution. It has to be financial, it has to be moral, it has to be prayers, it has to be everything that you have. So thank you very much. Thank you. Let me ask you a question. If you got a job, which you got that job just to work for your family, for your father or your mother back home, and so you started that job and you told your boss that I don't need this salary. All I need is, as I work at the end of the week or the end of 2 weeks or monthly, take my salary and send it to XXX. He is my father. He is back home. So you started the work. At the end of every month, your boss faithfully paid your father. He only gives you a count of how much he has paid, how much you have earned, about how much he has paid your father. And you keep working for 2-3 months, for 1 year, and the boss is faithfully paying your father what you are working, what you are earning. Will you be disappointed with your boss? It is interactive. I want to see some yes or some no. Will you be disappointed with the boss you are working for? I think the obvious answer is no. Okay, let's turn it around. If you got a job and you're working for yourself, you're working for your kids and your family, and you expect to be paid at the end of the month, and at the end of the month, you go to your boss and say, please, I need my pay. I've not seen my check, my paycheck. He said, no, I'm sorry, I gave it to charity. Then you continue to work. Continue to work. The next month, you ask for your pay. He said, I gave it to charity. Will you not be disappointed? Now, these are the two things. You will be very disappointed. You know why? Because when you are working for others and your pay is given to others, you will not be disappointed. But when you are working for yourself and you don't get that which you are expecting to get, it is given to somebody else, you are disappointed. These are the two categories of people involved in this struggle. There are people who are actually working for themselves. They are working for their wives. I mean, in this struggle for the restoration, they are working for themselves. They are working for their wives. They are working for their children. They are working for their well-being. It's a job. And so they expect remuneration. They expect it in many ways. They expect it in positions. They expect it in money-wise to raise enough money. They expect it in paychecks. They expect it. And when it doesn't come, it is war. But those that are working for others, they expect that the others they are working for should get the result, should get the remuneration. They cannot be disappointed. They don't have, listen to me, if you are working for yourself and you don't get what you are working for come to you, you have this sense of indebtedness, that somebody is indebted to you, that this boss is indebted to you, that this man, the people you are working for are indebted to you. And so you can make all hell to break loose if that which you are indebted, they are indebted to, is not given to you. When I listen to some people talk about this struggle, I wonder if we had removed money from this equation and positions, and it was just a matter of follow your convictions and fight, how many will still be in this struggle? If we say we are working for the people, and whatever efforts we have made have helped the people this far, I don't know how much, why are we disappointed? Why are some disappointed? The only reason why you can be disappointed is that you worked for yourself and your expectations were not met. That's the only reason in this struggle that somebody can be disappointed and mad. You actually work for yourself. You labored for yourself and your children. You labored for your own promotion. You studied, you did everything you did for you. Then, unfortunately, none of the expectations were met. Nothing came to you. And then you say, oh my God. So people can write, they use their learning, they use their rhetorical know-how to talk. But you have to know, when you sense frustration in the heart of whoever, the leader, as if something he deserved or he deserves so well has not been given to him, then you ask that person a question. Who are you working for? Who are you working for? You are surely working for yourself. I want to tell you that even if I was not appointed, I would still have had this program today to say the same things I'm saying now. Nobody sent me here to talk on his behalf. I look at the issues and I say them the way they are, and that's why I'm here. Nobody has made contributions or only GoFundMe to give me some money so that I keep talking. No. I believe in something. I believe in the freedom of people. In the freedoms that we all were created with. And I can't just settle down to the status quo when these freedoms are denied, when people are oppressed, when my own people are oppressed. When I consider that they are being killed right now as we speak, as you are enjoying this telecast, some people are under torture right now, being killed, running for their lives, being maimed. When I consider this, what pay do I want? What pay? What do I want to be given so that I will feel happy? What pay? I will not say this so that will be somebody. I expect somebody to pay me for what I'm doing. I'm fighting for a cause. This is life. For true freedom fighters, it is their life that is on the line, and that's what gives them fulfillment. The fight. That's their lifestyle. I don't expect any form of recognition, award, promotion, elevation to do what I'm doing. No. That is the spirit of a revolution. Let me tell you another wisdom story from the Bible. We all know Solomon. Solomon was a man of wisdom. Solomon was a man of wisdom. We remember this story they told us in primary, right from primary school. Those of us who went to mission schools. These two women were fighting for a child, the ownership of a child. And one of them was the actual mother. The other one was the fake mother. She's the one who stole the child. And when there was argument as to who owns the child, there was no DNA like in these days. They would have just conducted a DNA and known that this is the right mother, this is the fake mother. So Solomon said, "Bring me a sword. I will destroy this child right now. I will kill this child. I want to divide this child into two so that you will take half and the other one will take half." The fake mother said, "Go ahead. That's a good idea. Let's slay this child. Let's divide this child into two. Everyone should take half and the matter will be settled." Then Solomon laughed and said, "Now I know who is the mother of the child." So he just said, "No, I'm not killing nobody." He just took the child and gave that child to the rightful, said, "You are the mother." Because the lady, the one whose child it was, said, No, please don't." The fake mother said, "Slay. If the child is not given to me, we should better kill the child." You understand her wisdom. Her wisdom was that if you will not give me the child, let's kill the child. And the other one said, "No, I'd rather see my child alive. I'd rather see my child alive than for you to kill this child because of an argument." So, in the wisdom of Solomon, he said, "No, you that want this child alive, you can only be the mother of this child. Because there's no mother who will want to see the child die for any argument. But the fake will say, if I cannot have that child, let's kill the child. All of us will lose." That is how you know fake people. That's how you know fake people who say they are leaders, who say they are there for the people, and it is all about the people. Fake. Because when you hear people say, like, if you don't come and meet me, if you don't come and bow before me or follow me, this thing, this is the end of this thing. They are like that fake mother that Solomon was able to just expose when he told that fake mother that I will kill this child now and you will see, I will just share it. You take half, the other one take half. That settles the matter. They are that fake mother who thought that if you don't want to make me the leader, let this thing fail. If you don't want to make me the owner, let Southern Cameroon, let the struggle come to an end. If you don't want to make me the leader. This thing, we shall see the end of this thing because I'm not the leader. You are fake. You are fake. I say this for everyone who is in leadership to examine his intentions. I call all of them. Today I don't want to call names. I call all of you to examine your intentions. Because you might say you don't have these intentions, but your actions portray your intentions. Because intentions are not written on the wall. They cannot be read on your face. But it's your actions that will portray your intentions. Your actions will portray what is in you. Because as a man thinketh, that's the way he acts. You cannot say it's different. You cannot want the death of this struggle because of a disagreement. He said, if we shall not agree on this, let this be the end of the struggle for our restoration. And you still call yourself a leader of this struggle? Some even say pioneer. Pioneer, that's one other word that I hear now. Pioneers of the struggle. I'm thinking of people like Augustine Gomjoa, of Albert Mukom, of Chief Ayamba, of the living legends like Ambassador Fosso, like Justice Ebo, like Gojidinka, like Justice Mbu, and some other people like Professor Ayim, like Professor Anyangwe, and some others who have been there before us, and Cho Ayaba, and Ebeneza Akwanga. So, let me give you the grandiose titles of pioneers. Pioneers. So, who is the greatest? Some have died, some are still alive. Dear pioneers, who is the greatest? And what did you pioneer? In many ways, you simply expressed your desire for the freedom of the people of Southern Cameroon. Some ended in exile, some ended in prison, and some were neutralized and converted to join the regime. Some died of age. So you are a pioneer of what? And then if you are any pioneer, who is the greatest that should lead? That must lead, that has a proprietary right to lead this revolution. Who is the greatest? Let me say this one other thing that is very true. Bia's regime has always succeeded to neutralize the movement for our restoration. Every step of the way. I just succeeded every step of the way. When the SCNC was formed in the 1970s. Paul Biya succeeded every step of the way. He did these things. He terrorized the people. He killed the people. He forced many on exile. And he kept the calm. He kept the place quiet. And every time people were forced into exile, they were absolutely rendered inactive. They only could join the email groups and express themselves in those emails. That's it. They lost their nationality. They lost access back home. They lost any contact with Ground Zero. They lost. They had even no way to even make their message. People did not even know why they were in problems. They had no following. In fact, people did not even want to be identified with them. I remember in 1988, I was in Calabar, Nigeria, when Fongoji Dinka was in Calabar at 34 Ambo Street. When we were trying to get admission into universities, we went there. We were just excited to see somebody who was bold to confront the whole government. You know, when we heard that he was around, we just went to see him. He was telling us a story. For us, we did not fully grasp the thing, but we said, well, this is great. He told us a few things. There was no action. Everyone that went on exile lost every relevance back home because they have no following anymore. So if somebody is in the diaspora and he's saying that he has been fighting, what has he been doing? What have you been doing in the diaspora for 10 years that you have been fighting? For 10 years now, you are in diaspora, you have been fighting. What have you been fighting in the diaspora? 10 years ago, what have you been doing in the diaspora? You write a few letters, write letter here, write letter here, write letter here. And that's why there have been governments. And today, everybody wants to forget that there have been governments before this government. There have been governments. And incidentally, these people are crying foul like this. They have belonged to those governments. They were never even known. You know why? Because this fight is not a diaspora fight. This struggle is not a diaspora struggle. It is a ground zero struggle. We are only helpers. We are only catalysts. This fight is won and fought on ground zero. Why this government has any relevance today is because of its influence on ground zero. So tell me, 10 years ago, you say you have been fighting. What have you been doing? You were writing emails? Or you had a website? Nobody knew about that. And nobody in ground zero ever listened to anybody by then. There was not even an action that can pull an ant going on ground zero because of your emails that you were doing in the diaspora. So you were leading or fighting in the diaspora for who? How many shots did you pull back home? For me, to the best of my knowledge, there was nothing. You just lose the fight when you took to your heels and found yourself in the diaspora. And from there, you started fighting for your survival and you and your family. That is the truth. When we lost it in ground zero and the wicked forces pushed us and we took a flight and found ourselves in the diaspora, we lost the fight. For anybody to stay in the diaspora and say, I've been fighting, you've been fighting what? Emails? You write one letter and send to United Nations and you are waiting to write another. Say you've been fighting. Okay, you've been fighting. We did not see the results in ground zero. We did not see the results. There was nothing happening. Life was normal. There was nothing. If there was any government, it was just a laughing stock because people used to imagine that they laughed in those days to hear that somebody formed any government. Gojidinka had a government. I don't know, one or two governments. I don't know who again. I don't know whether Ambassador Fosuntu had a government. Professor Kassin also had a government. But those governments, because The diaspora does not establish governments. So there were no governments. They were just rallies to try to make an impact back home. And those impacts were not made. Those governments were just paper governments. Why everybody wants to talk about this government? Because it's a government indeed. Because it has roots on ground zero. And anybody who is thinking that he wants to form an alternative government, this is the most ridiculous thing I've heard this year. You think that you want to form another government? What are you forming? Who is listening to you? For me, if I were you, I would first of all give one instruction back home. Announce it on social media. Print it on your page. If they can follow it, if they follow it to the letter, if Ground Zero can rise up and say, our leader has said it, then you can go ahead and form a government. A government is a representation of the people. It's not an organization that is registered with a 501c3. If there are no people, there's no government. Okay, go and register it and get incorporate it and call it a government. This government we have now is a government because the people have expressed their will in several ways in obeying their orders and their rules and their commands. They have expressed in an informal way. They have expressed their will. For those who are saying that, when they went to Kaduna, is it Kaduna or Zaria, how many people were there? No. I don't care whether there were 5 people. Those 5 people were representing a movement that has been endorsed by the grassroots with evidence. So how many they were there does not matter. But those people that were there, who were they representing at that moment? They were representing a movement that has been endorsed by Ground Zero. So for you to say, count how many people were there, what are you talking about? Those people that were there were the people who called the demonstration on the 22nd of September that you and I know about. That millions came out. Those are the people who gathered there, even if there were only 10. So they have a mandate. That's what they call a mandate. So if they selected the government and they choose our president to be the leader, on what grounds do you question that? So you say you want to form a parallel government because you want to fight against this government. In other words, you are saying this thing must crash unless I am the one in government. Then you are like that mother that told Solomon, that killed that child. If this woman doesn't want me to take the child away, let's kill the child. That's how depraved, how wicked you are. I'm happy that the fight has. I'm happy that it has taken this while for us to get to Buea. Because if we just got to Buea without passing through this testing moment, we will not know ourselves. We will not know who we are, who we really are. Water, dirty water, if you don't stir it, you will not know how dirty it is. So things like this had to happen for us to know who has been involved in this struggle and who is involved in this struggle. Who are the people at heart and who is here for his personal gain. Who will break this thing into two if he doesn't have his way? Who will destroy it and say, let it be destroyed? Because I didn't have my way, because I didn't get what I expected or deserved. And in fact, these people remain indebted to me and they are not giving me what I deserve. So let's destroy this thing and let everybody call it quit. That is what will help us to know who we have in this struggle. Lastly, I want to talk about this thing. I have read it, written by the Honorable Gojidinka. I have read it written by Mr. Christopher Messner. I have read it commented with comments in different forums. I have to address it because these are opinion leaders. It goes like this, that President Siseko Ayub Tabe ordered people to come out to march on September 22nd and October 1st and to be killed. And so that was a mistake when he knew that they were not armed. So he was a mistake. He actually is responsible for the killing of these people. You know how disingenuous that argument is? That's terrible. When you close your eyes, it's as if it is La République that is talking from the presidency. How on earth did they come to that reasoning? That we, all of us, I also did. I don't know who did not do. I don't know who among the leaders who is trying to make a criticism today did not endorse what happened on the 22nd. Incidentally, the people that were even, all of us were in New York or represented in New York on that 22nd of September. How can you say that the person who called that march actually sent the people to go and die? Now, you are blaming the victim instead of blaming the perpetrator of the crime. Now, did the president call out that march so that the people should go and commit a crime? Tell me the crime he asked them to go and commit, and then they were killed in the process of committing that crime. So he is guilty of their blood. You cannot, if I call the people to march, I'm calling them to exercise their constitutional right, approved by every international law. So the person who went contrary to the law to kill the people, you give him a pass, and you blame the person who called the march. And today you are even taking, you are about taking the glory for the march. That's why you think you can now form a government. Because if there was nothing happening in Ground Zero, you are already discouraged, because all of you who want to form government, you had formed government before. The only reason why you think you can form a government right now is what happened on the 22nd of September and the 1st of October, which you still go around to criticize. That those who called for that march, those who called for that march, they actually send the people to go and die. Did they send them to go and steal? I also called them to people to come out. Did I call them to go and steal and break houses? That's what. No, who said they should come out and celebrate our freedom? Is that a crime? You try to give a pass to the person, to that barbaric, inhuman bloodsucker who went out to kill innocent people, shooting people in their homes, in their sleep, shooting at 12 years old child, killing people, burying them in mass grave. You give them a pass, saying that the one who asks people to go and march is the criminal. Something is already wrong with you. That kind of thinking needs psych evaluation. And that's what is being propagated as one of the mistakes. And the President Siseko never said that we have armies that will protect us. Because what he asked for, that the people should do, was their constitutional right. That right to march, to express themselves, is protected, supposedly, by the Constitution of La République. So he never said they have soldiers. Rather, there were some groups that said that they have armies on the ground, that they have people, that they have groups that were armed, and nobody was armed. All the same, that is not even the weight of my argument. The truth is that in every normal, law-abiding society, any constitutionally driven nation, of civilized nation in the world, people have the right to march. And that is just what a very sane and intelligent president asks his people to do. So, all those people who come around and they end up their speeches by saying, who is this man? Who is he? Who is this man? Let them better start by telling us their qualification. You don't come and tell me who is he? Who is he? Tell me your qualification. This fight was never a diaspora fight. When Agombala, Honorable Tassan, Niba, Dr. Niba, and the rest, they started this thing. All of us in the diaspora, I remember all the organizations, all of them, all, Ambassador Fossum, Republic of Amazonia, AGC, Morisk. If you are not there, if I'm telling a lie, just say no. They wrote letters endorsing the consortium back home as the organization, as the mouthpiece of the struggle. Do you know why? Because the diaspora has lost the front line in the struggle. We had lost the front line in the struggle. So when these people arose, all of us like one man, we endorsed the people back home, the movement. The only reason why that thing came back again and again is that because of the heavy-handed manner that the government responded, arresting, killing, threatening. So some leaders had to walk to the diaspora, walk out. You know, they found themselves in the diaspora to keep the flame burning. And the diaspora walked, zoom in with people like Ivo and Mark to keep the flame burning on ground zero. This is not a diaspora-led revolution right now. The way it started, it was not originated by the diaspora. And it is not kept by the diaspora right now. The diaspora are just catalysts. We are just catalysts. The people that are responsible for this struggle now that we call our revolution is the people on ground zero. So anybody who is sitting comfortably in the diaspora thinking that somebody is indebted to him as the pioneer of this struggle. We struggle. The one you abandoned, when we left the country, we abandoned the struggle. And this other thing that happened in 2016, none of us in the diaspora will say that I engineered it. If you know you engineered it, put your hand. Give me a yes. Write it there that you engineered it. You who deserves to be Mr. President, that means you are the pioneer who engineered this revolution that started in 2016 back home. Write it there that I was in the diaspora. While in the diaspora, I engineered the things that happened back home. Write it there and tell me. What did you engineer? You were a spectator. You made a few videos left and right. You only became relevant because of the people back home. Even myself, I've been a fighter for a long time. But I only became relevant because of these great people back home. I will not tell you that when I came to the diaspora 2010, I have been fighting. I've been fighting how? We wrote a few letters with Ambassador Foson to the United Nations. We followed a few emails and made some postage. We posted some things to the UN. Is that what I call it? I've been fighting? No. This thing that has happened is a ground zero originated. It's ground zero originated and ground zero sustained, and we are the catalysts. And tell me that catalyst who is more qualified than the other. And they are even challenging those who actually originated the struggle back in 2016. They challenge them, they call them traitors. How in your very right senses will you call Mr. Tassa a traitor? Where were you when the struggle started in 2016? You are writing emails. Whether we like it or not, this struggle moved without us. This struggle originated. What we are having right now originated without us. Without us, we're writers. We're writing different forums. We're keeping the flame burning. We're talking. But what happened from 2016 right now, it happened despite the diaspora. Nobody in the diaspora will say, we organize it here, and then we determined what happened down there. Nobody. To the best of my knowledge, we're all losers in the diaspora. We lost ground zero and had zero influence back home. We're losers. We're just hoping and praying that God will one day keep this, cause that the spirit to be rekindled again. And it happened without us. That's the truth. That is just the truth. So this is an act of God. And if the people who started this thing back home, people like for and others and Honorable Tassan that were in the ground zero, if they found themselves in outside in the diaspora and they chose somebody to be a leader, how they chose him does not matter. Some of us questioned it, questioned the process. But does it make sense for us to say, despite the evidence of support and popular approval, I don't care, this thing must break? Because you begin to ask some people, who are you? Before you say, who are you? Tell us who you are. What qualifies you more than the present president? Tell me. Because I feel least qualified to be where I am now. Because every time I try to learn, I learn to learn things that I've not learned. So that humbles me, and I want to listen. Okay, you qualify more than anybody. You can tell anybody to his face, who are you? Tell us your qualification. What qualifies you? The days in prison, the months in prison, or the beatings? So when somebody is beaten and tortured, that qualifies him to be a leader. What qualifies you? Better than the other person. So qualified that if any other person is holding the mandate, let's tear this thing down. What qualifies you? It is just in your mind. Anybody who thinks that nobody else can do it, that person has a mental problem. That's the truth. Because it is in your mind. It is in your mind that you think that you are such a superhero, you are have so much intelligence, and that there's nobody who can match you, and the other person knows nothing. If it is not you, it's that person. That thinking is it denotes a psychological problem. Truly, if you are thinking that way in everything you do, you go for a psych evaluation, you will be admitted. Because normal, level-headed people are people who believe that there is somebody who knows what I don't know. There are some people who know that I know some things, but there are many things I don't know. That's the normal. When you think that you know above everybody, everybody must bow down to you and follow you, and you believe it. Sometimes you can say that just for words of mouth, but when you say that and you believe it, you have a problem. In my days in the university, I was taught, I remember the first day in my level 100, I saw a very young man enter the class with a t-shirt, and we're still making noise, right? We did not know that he was a teacher. So we're making noise all over. He stood there waiting for us to recognize that the teacher is in the class so that he can start the class. We ignored him and we were making noise. Then there's one person who started shouting on his behalf because he didn't have the voice to shout. They said, oh, the teacher is here. They would say, get out. Which teacher? Then we looked around hard, and then we saw, oh, there's somebody standing in front there. You see, what's he doing there? And the guy said, can we get ready for the class? And we all sat like some little kids and listening to him. And when he delivered his class, we knew that, yes, we did not know anything. We knew that we could not have despite this man. What were we trying to do? Say, how can he be our teacher? When he finished his class, we knew that he was somebody. When you come out from such an environment, you understand that you don't despise a person by his looks. You have to give him a chance and listen to him. When you come from such an environment, you understand that it's not all that somebody says he is, but what he can do. And when you have a chance to evaluate, you will rely more on what you can, your evaluation, than what you think in your mind. I'm greatest. I should be the greatest. That's a problem. I'm not saying this that it is strange, because even among the disciples of Jesus, there were those who had a meeting and they said, let us determine who shall be the greatest. Who shall be the greatest? Among those 12, who shall be the greatest? And Jesus came and said, I know. What were you saying when you were under the tree over there? They tried to pretend. And that's what it is. Some people, you tell them, say, no, I don't want position. I just want everything to be right. No. Why do you have a problem with who is the greatest? This is the only great ones that we have are those who have died, and those who are paying right now the price. They are in jails. They are maimed. They are in foreign lands. They are in the forest. They are missing. Those are the people. Those are the people who are paying the price right now. Those are the people who deserve to be called the greatest. Because even in those pains, they have refused to give up. Those who have died, they were buried with a flag, an indication that the resistance continues. Those are the people who are the greatest. Not somebody seated in the diaspora with a Facebook account or a microphone as I stand before you, and I think that I'm the greatest. Any other person who wants to labor in this should stand behind me. That's a psychological problem that requires mental redress. We can fix this thing. Whatever you think needs to be fixed. If we join, we'll be stronger. If we come closer, we can be stronger. If we come closer, together, we can be stronger. If you don't want to, if you are not satisfied, you better stay quiet. And start saying something which is not just that you reject the people who are leading. Why don't you stay there and see and wait for their mistakes? Because that's all you can do now. Wait for their mistakes when they become obvious, so that you can have something to say. I want to encourage you people, because we are moving forward. If somebody who talks like this is giving 500 men who are armed with AK-47, who will ever correct him again? If somebody who says everybody should line behind him, everybody who says, who is he? You talk about this and say, who is he? You talk about the people who even started the struggle back home, he calls them sellouts. If that person has 500 people who are armed and they are answerable to him with AK-47, who else can talk to him? Then we have just got a warlord. A warlord. A warlord who will terrorize everybody right up to Boya. That's what we have got ourselves into, if that happens. That's why I'm calling for all the self-defense groups. We now know you. If you refuse to join the government so that your actions can be regulated by the people who express their mandate by obeying this leadership. If your actions are not endorsed, then we know that you are potentially a warlord in the making, and somebody who will become a problem even when our independence is fully established over our territory. And we cannot tolerate that. I will end here. I do not intend to talk so much this long, but I want to encourage you. In the days ahead, I will make my recommendations to Mr. President, especially on how to get the resources that we need to deliver, how to convert this energy into resources that we badly need as a government because of the expectation of the people. We cannot deliver without means and resources. God bless you as you continue in the struggle, as we continue as one man. Thank you. Bye-bye.